I officially built my first application in Lovable AI, and I have to say there's a few things that I wish I would have done before I started. Now, it was definitely experimental for me. I really enjoyed it. I created an awesome application that I'm going to show you at the end of this. But let's get into the things that I wish I would have known before just jumping in to create an application. All right, now when I first started this application, the idea was to create a 10-day devotional series that would send out an email, and then I had corresponding videos with them. Originally, I was using Go High Level, and I was using a little bit of WordPress as well. There were a lot of different routes I could have went. I had the email set up with FunnelKit. I had the video set up with different landing pages and Go High Level. I also had the email set up and Go High Level, but I didn't get to finish it because every time it was just becoming too much. I think I had around 7 or 8 done, and then I kind of called it quits because it took me like 2 or 3 weeks to get to that point. So I wanted to see if I can take that challenge and put it into AI and see if AI can build me something much faster with less, I guess, stress of trying to figure out how everything was going to work together. And it did. It really did. So I started this, and you can see my screen right here. Start your day with coffee and God's word. So my original prompt, I wonder if it's going to take me back all the way to the beginning, was pretty extensive. I used ChatGPT to help me create the initial model of what it was supposed to be. And I said, ChatGPT, this is what I want. I need a lovable prompt that's going to build this out for me. And I was on a roll. But as I started to go deeper into it, I started realizing that the things that I wanted didn't really work out as easily as I thought it was. I think my initial mentality was get this going, create a MVP, a minimal viable product, and then see if I could get it to work. And it did that. It did exactly that. I put in the prompt, and it created a very simple website along with everything else. Like you could see right here, it says start your day with coffee. This was the first iteration that it created, and I loved it. I started to get into problems when it came to the form. And then I realized I needed other things to get this done. So what started as a simple prompt turned into something a little more complex the more I got into it. And you can see right here, it actually brought me to the beginning. So here's the logo. Here's the image that I put up, which was this image right here, Coffee and the Word, created in Canva. I said, this is what ChatGPT put out. You're a conversion-focused landing page builder. Create a fast, accessible, mobile-first landing page that matches the fullquivercoffee.com brand. Don't mention any archers because it has nothing to do with archery. Right at a 5th grade level, and avoid M dashes and comparisons. The offer was a free 10-day devotional, plus the coffee recipe book with matching free videos and a daily email sequence. 1 email per day for 10 days. So I wanted it to send out an email per day for 10 days. So this was going to be the host for the videos. It was going to store the emails in, and it was also going to sequence them daily so that they can send it, get the email, and then watch the video. Along with primary goals, opt-in modes, convert box, and it gave a whole bunch of other details in it. So as I started building this out, it became apparent that this might not be the best way to go. I ended up changing a lot of things during the entire process. I had to add authorization for usernames so that I can have an admin section if in case I ever wanted to edit or change certain things. I also needed to store the username and emails in a database. So what's awesome is this Lovable AI actually connects to the cloud, which creates the database for you. So whenever I put something in here, it actually puts it together, which is really cool. It stores the emails, it stores everything, but every little detail had to be stored together. So you can see right here, I have an authorization page, and when I sign in, it's supposed to redirect me back to the admin page, but it doesn't. That's still something I'm trying to work out. But if I click back to home, what ends up showing is these two buttons right here, settings and admins. If I click on settings, you'll see I have general settings, email SMTP, because I linked it to SMTP to go, which you can find the link in the description. And I also have the AI configuration, which stores the Anthropic API key because I'm using Claude. I just like how Claude puts content out better than ChatGPT. And it gave me access to create the prompts. Now, this is actually pretty cool where you have OpenAI GPT, ChatGPT, and Lovable AI. The thing I don't like about the Lovable AI is when it integrates this into your application, it still uses the tokens. So unless you want to burn through your tokens, I really wouldn't do that. It just doesn't make any sense. And then I have the email sequences right here. So this iteration, I mean, this took me a bunch of different times to edit this, and it was just a pain. And then also with the videos, when I was in the settings panel, I was creating the videos and I had to redo this a couple of times because, in my mind, I made it too complicated in the beginning, and then I was trying to make it simpler and simpler as I progressed. And the problem with that is because I didn't have the end plan in frame of mind, I was kind of building as I was going, and doing that just ended up eating more and more coins, causing more and more bugs, which actually leads me to my next point. Most of your tokens are going to be used to debug. I know, it's crazy. But even looking at this page right here, it was such trial and error to go back and forth to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is how it works. What can I put here? What can I put there? And everything that you type into Lovable, anything I put in here starts eating up the tokens. So I purchased a $25 plan. I had 100 tokens. And then it says that I have daily credits used first, which I don't really understand because I'm supposed to get 5 a day, and like I have 2.9 and I didn't use any today. So I don't know if it just kind of like crawls its way up depending on the time you signed. I don't know. But anytime I want to do something, every line, everything that I ask it, it starts to take tokens away more and more and more. So I started saying things like, everything looks like it's working now, but I'm not getting the email. Step 1 should be day 0, immediate, blah, 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 but nothing is being sent. And then I sent that, and then it eats up a token or 2 tokens or however many tokens. And then if I would put another line in, implement the plan. Okay, that's another token. So it just continuously kept eating tokens. And they have this little feature right here called chat, which is really cool because it helps you plan out everything. But again, even if I just want to chat to brainstorm or just to see where I can take it or what's going on, it's just more and more tokens. So what I learned was, don't do one-liners. Do not do one-liners in Lovable AI because that one-liner costs the same as, a 25-liner or whatever it is. So when you're debugging, get everything together, see what's wrong with the application, put it in one spot and put it as one prompt. And then if you want to use the chat to just verify everything you said, fine. But just know that's probably going to be a token or half a token. And then when you implement it, it's going to be, depending on how many files, I don't really understand the token system in this, but depending on how many files you use, it's going to use more and more tokens. So I was trying to keep everything at 100 tokens. When I first had everything set, I used 40 tokens. So I was like, oh, I'm on a roll. But then every time I went to debug, it was like 3 tokens there, 4 tokens here, 5 tokens, 1 token. And it just kept adding up really, really quickly. And I think within a week, I used all of my tokens. So just be aware that when you're debugging, don't just say, oh, this form doesn't work. like test it, check it out, see what's wrong with it, be as specific as you can be, and say, here are the bugs I found, and then just be thorough in your prompts when you start putting it together, because it makes a difference and it starts to tackle all of your debugs one by one. And I say that loosely because this kind of brings me to my next point. Sometimes it listens to you, sometimes it just kind of does whatever it thinks it should do. and it really ends up being a trial and error type of sequence. So on my thing here, so the last debug I did, I gave it a list of everything, and I told it, let me see if I get back to the bottom. I think it's over here. I gave it a list of issues that I found, and its response to me was, oh, this is already working. Only to realize it's not already working, because I wouldn't have put it in the bug list if it was working properly. So you kind of have to be aggressive with it a little bit. But it's gonna, if you put a lot of stuff into it, it's gonna catch some things. It's not gonna catch other things, which I found incredibly frustrating. I had the same issue about 2 or 3 times where there was adding an extra slash in the video and it just didn't fix it. It kept finding other stuff because I was grouping it. So I know before I said group it, which you should do, but sometimes it's just going to do what it wants, and it'll pick like 2 things to fix, and then the one thing ends up lingering, which was such a pain to deal with because, again, every time you write something, it's just using more tokens. So you could see here, I said, please verify that I can click extract the summary and email content prompts have been swapped. So I have a summary and email content, and I wanted the prompts swapped. I think I've mentioned this like 3 times for it to do, and it didn't do it. It didn't do it. And it says that it did it. Oh, the prompt is swapped. Oh, the prompt is swapped. And it said it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm trying to say like, hey, see, look right here, confirmed. And then as I scroll down, let's see, I wanted to say based on the transcript, there was a part where I was like, hey, it's not working. And then it said, oh yeah, you're right. So let's see. Oh yeah, found the problem. So it's the same thing. So I said, you're telling me what I want, but it's not producing what I want. Extract what I want. And I explained it again. And then I said, show me the files and the prompts where these things are. And then it finally said, oh, I found the problem. And here's the bug. And it showed me the bug. And then it says, wait, this is actually correct. So it just, I don't know, man. It keeps thinking to itself and going through everything. And then it eventually found what the bug was. But this was after me trying to tell it hey, you're wrong. There's something not working. Look at the code and fix it. So that's what it did. And that's where the kind of the trial and error part really comes into play, because you're constantly saying hey, this doesn't work. And then it does its thing and it can't find it. And then you have to get more specific on, when I do this, this is what happens. I need this to be fixed. This is it becomes a pain in the butt to really prompt it like that. So that was part of my trial and error. And now this brings me to my next point. I'm still learning how to do this, and I would love to integrate ChatGPT with figuring out all of these things, and I don't know how to do it yet. I do have a copy. It's like I'm Boston. I have a copy of something. There was 2 people that I was following on YouTube, and they gave a free document to go through the process. And man, I forget who they are. Let me find them, and I want to mention them because I do want to shout them out. All right, I found them. It's Daryl Wilson. Pause that. Daryl Wilson. I like this guy's videos. He does a great job. He had a document that shows the process of how to go through the Lovable prompting. And I didn't use it. I kind of wanted to just go in to see if I could figure it out. And I found out that you definitely need some type of order or structure when you're doing this. So I was constantly refactoring code and debugging code and trying to make the best out of what I could do. But check out his channel. He has an awesome video. I think it's called, let's see where it is. The video is, he does a lot of videos. One of these. He has Bolt tutorial, and this was the Lovable tutorial. I'm pretty sure it was this one 2 months ago, right? So he did this one, and in it, he has a document that shows the structure. And then the other YouTuber was Tina Huang. Well, Tina Huang. I apologize if I said your name wrong. But she's also got really cool videos. And she had a video where she gave this. It's a PRP meta prompt where you put this into ChatGPT and it helps you create the product prompt that you want whenever you're building an application. So I haven't tried those. I'm going to try those on my next application. But to leverage ChatGPT with this would be ideal. There is a way in ChatGPT that you can actually sync it to GitHub, which I had it do. Let me just pull it up real quick. So I have right here, you can see ChatGPT. I connected the GitHub repository because in the application, you have this option right here, which lets you bring your project over to GitHub if you want to download it or work on it manually, or share it or whatever you want to do with it. And then ChatGPT actually has a way that you can sync your GitHub repository and then it can look through the code. So I did that. It's only available through agent mode and I believe deep research. So if you click on more and then you click on, let's see, no, right here, add sources. And then when you add sources, it brings up this little thing, add. And then if your thing is in here, you click on connect more right here. So when I clicked on connect more, you could see I synced up GitHub. So you just log into GitHub, it syncs it. And if you want to use GitHub, you have to switch this to agent mode. And now you'll see GitHub here, and then you can pick the repository that you want it to go through. So I did that, and I basically said, look through the code in the repository and help me debug it. Right now, the URL for the videos is adding a double slash, and I don't know where it's at. It should go to videos, but instead it's / videos, which is breaking the page. So it worked for 4 minutes, and then it found it. It went through all the code. It found where this information was being processed, and it told me how to fix it. Now, I only did this because I ran out of tokens, and I still had the issue, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I waited a couple hours, and I guess the daily tokens started creeping up, so I was able to go back in and say, hey, fix this issue, and then it did fix it, and then use the rest of my tokens. So it is what it is. But that was literally like the last fix. So it tells me where the file is. So if you run out of tokens and you still want to edit the files, you can do this. Put it to GitHub, sync it, have your agent look at it, and then start seeing where the issues are so that you can actually fix it. And then this will go through everything. The next step would probably be, turn this into a lovable prompt, after you debug it. And then I can go in here and then paste it here. So that's one way to do it. I don't know if that's the best way, but to leverage ChatGPT and not constantly use tokens, that's probably one of the ways you could do it. So instead of using chat, you can use ChatGPT and ask the same question and then see what ChatGPT sends out. Although I will say the integration with the AI here and the code is phenomenal, because even with the chats, it was going through every file. It was looking at the lines. It was giving me all the detailed structures. As you saw before, it was going through the code saying, oh, wait a minute, this looks right. Let me search something else. So it's awesome. Like, everything is remembered through the code, and it does a great job of fixing it. Now, my last thought on this before I show you the actual application is this. Is this better than WordPress? And the answer to that is I don't know. There are some things that are way better and way easier that I could do on WordPress. And there are other things that just the speed of it can be taken care of with AI. I think the biggest thing to look at with AI is the tokens that keep draining every time you want any kind of update. So if you're on a budget, if you're spending 25, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, and you start running low on tokens, then you start getting kind of concerned, like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to finish this, within my budget and keep it? Whereas with WordPress, it's like, I've already built it. It's open source. I have my license for my page builder or whatever, and then I build it once and then it's done. Like, there's not a lot of debugging when I'm building with that. So for instance, like, this page was done in the first shot with AI. The functionality of the form is what I had to go back and forth with, especially with CAPTCHA and making sure that I don't just get spam after spam after spam email. So in WordPress, that probably would have taken me, 15, 20 minutes, just pop in the form, set it up, and then I'm done. Whereas in the AI application, I had to actually build the form and say, hey, create the form. It needs to function like this. It needs to do this. It needs to store this. And then it ends up creating the whole database, creates the names, so you're essentially building an entire email system within the AI, whereas WordPress, you just have all these third-party plugins adding. So WordPress definitely gives you a lot more control. It gives you a lot more flexibility. And when something is done, it's done. Whereas AI, you're building and you're building and you're building, and it's literally building the back end and the front end at the same time. And when it does those things, you're going to run into more issues. However, once you build all of those systems and it's done, it's done. And then you can add updates if you want, or changes, or, make it even bigger and more grandiose as you see fit. So this form now functions. I don't have to touch the form ever again. Like, it's a good form. If I want, I can create webhooks, and have everything go into here. Like, there's so much more that I can do. But again, it's going to be the trial and error. Like, even this landing page, once it's done in WordPress. Once it's done in AI, you hope everything's working right. So you have to constantly test. And if something is off, then you have to go back and fix it, But a couple iterations of that, and you finally get it to where you want, and you're good to go. So WordPress, I would say, gives you a lot more control over the things, especially if you're using things like page builders, or if you have to integrate a bunch of different plugins to make sure that they work nicely together. But you're not the developer. Like, they've already been developed. You're paying for the license, and then you use them because they work. Hopefully they don't conflict with themes and things like that. Whereas AI, you're literally building everything from the ground up. You're building the system. You're building the landing pages. You're building everything. So you do have to work in the debugging parts of that, which might take a little longer, but you don't have to know how to code. you just tell it, and then it does it. So you're really just keeping an eye on your token usage versus anything else, which, I'm not going to lie, could be stressful. Like, I wanted to build this whole thing for $25 and then, see if I could do it. And I did it. But I thought I did it with 40 tokens and 60 to spare, and I ended up using all of them plus the daily 5 tokens that they give me every day. So it took about a week and a half, and I finally built it. Whereas WordPress, it probably would have taken me the same amount of time, maybe a little longer, but then I'm trying to integrate everything else, and I'm building manually every little section. I'm building this, I'm building that, I'm coming up with the content, the thumbnails, I'm literally building every piece from scratch, where AI, I'm just telling it to build it, and it does it. So with that said, let's check out this application that I built that I love. So here it is. You go into the landing page, you fill out your name and email, you end up on this page. Because I'm already here, you'll see all the videos are available. But if you sign up for the first day, only this video is available, and then the next day would be this one, and the next day would be this one. So all of these would have a lock on them, and they would also be grayed out. So every day you get an email, every day you get a new video, and every day it's awesome. So this is the videos page. If I click on the actual page, this was built out day 1 of 10. It has the title. I have today's devotional, and then you click on play, it plays it, and then you have the options to go to the next day, the previous day, and however days are available to you. So everything's already set. This is the front end of it. So as a user, this is what you're going to see, and you're also going to get the email, which is really cool. So let me show you how all of this works on the back end. So once I'm logged in, you can see the videos here. I can add as many videos as I want. If I click on add a video, it opens up this down here, and this is actually really, really cool. So it says day 9. I can put in the duration. It has the video URL, title. I paste in the transcript if I want, which helps with the AI come up with all the content. The video thumbnail, I could upload one, or it takes the one directly from YouTube, and then it creates a summary. It also creates the email content, which I created a template for, and it gives me the preview window right here, the subject line, the pre-header text, the content, and the call to action button. And I put these little things right here so that if I don't like the email subject it provides, I can click this and it'll automatically generate a subject line or pre-header or whatever I want it to generate. And I could see the live preview right here. So let me show you how this works, because I have day 8 set up here and I still have to do day 9. So let me grab that video and I'll show you. All right, so check this out. I copied the video URL here and I pasted the transcript. I did have the option to integrate the YouTube API so that it gets the transcript automatically, but I just felt like that would be more headaches and more debugging, and I just didn't feel like doing it. So it's no big deal to copy and paste the transcript. Now check this out. This is the coolest thing ever. I'm going to click extract and it's going to fill in every single part of this using the Claude API. So you'll see while it's loading and then what it's going to do. So this is my email template, and watch as these things just get filled in. Bam. So it's done. It's done. Takes a couple seconds. It puts the title in, everything's based off of the transcript. So it puts the title in. It pulls the YouTube thumbnail in there. It's a weird picture of me, but it pulls the YouTube thumbnail, generates the summary for the page, and then it creates the entire email. And now this is one of those debug things that I was getting annoyed with. This content right here is supposed to be in the summary and not in the email. So we'll just fix that real quick. And I keep telling it to do it, and it keeps telling me it's done, but it's not. But that's all right. I hate M dashes. They just annoy me. So we'll put the comma there, and we'll put the comma here. And now we have the call to action. Watch day 8 right now. And I know this says day 9, but day 1 is the intro. So we're kind of a day behind. So when they get to this video, this is going to shoot off at 7 a.m. in the morning. It's going to say, hey, Jonathan, or hey, whatever your name is. The fallback is friend. And then it has the content here, the link to the video, and in every email you can download the free PDF that has the coffee recipes and the devotionals with it. So the videos are kind of like a bonus, but the actual devotionals are in the ebook. So this is what they're going to get. Everything's already filled out. This did everything, serving with love versus obligation. The summary is here, and we are good to go. So we're going to click on save the video. And now you're just going to see day 9 done. That's it. And now what happens is the next day they're going to get the email the next day that we just generated. It's going to link them to this landing page, which is right here, view videos, which is this landing page. And when they click on the URL in the email, it's going to bring them right here with the devotional and everything. So now they have all the information, they have the video, and they have constant access to the ebook. And it's all done through this application. So let's check out this backend. So I have videos and emails. That's where I set everything up. AI pulls everything. I have an email template, which I uploaded my logo. It's the Full Quiver logo. This is set as the default template. And then I have the HTML for the template. I had the application create different tokens. So if I need something available, I would say put the pre-header here, put the content there, put the video thumbnail wherever I want it. So I can change this as often as I want. And what I do is if I want to change it, I would highlight everything, put it into Claude. I'll say keep the tokens, and then just give me a new email design layout. And it will do it. And then I just paste it in here, and that's my default email design. So this is the HTML for the email. This is what sets it up. I can add as many templates as I want and then use those as I see fit. I also have the AI prompts. This is the AI prompts right here. Thumbnail generation prompt, which if I want to generate a thumbnail, I can. Although it was giving me issues, so I took it out of it. It just didn't remove it here. But you do have the content generation prompt which works and helps everything out. So then we also have analytics, which I could see, a lot of different things, different signups, different testings that I was messing around with, and it shows me all the details. I can see the subscribers here in a beautiful list. And you can see here, these are the emails that have been sent. This is how many emails were sent, and it's just awesome. So now I have a full subscriber email. I can export those, check the analytics, view the videos, and this is the simple landing page system that works flawlessly. If you want to try it out, head over to Coffee and the Word right here, coffeeandtheword.lovable.app. Get access to the free ebook and all of the videos that come with it. And I think you're going to like it. And if you do sign up for it, send me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think. Yeah, love it. So that's it. God bless. Enjoy.